I'm feeling great, man. I couldn't wait to get on the show because every single day I just want to bang my head into the wall on how much you trash my favorite stock.
Are you talking about Ford now?
Yeah, I'm talking about Ford. I really had to get on here and do this. I mean, I just, oh my gosh, what kind of hate do you have towards this company that I'm
Hey,
to the bottom of?
let me tell you something, Church. I before I came to America, I had 4 or 5 Ford Transit vans. I had a Ford Escort, a Ford Sierra back in the 80s, a Ford Fiesta, Ford Focus, all my vans for one night in Vegas before I was really big. When I was a smaller show, they were all Ford Transits. And then I went with the Ford Iveco, big lorry, when we had the big tour. So I've always had Fords. So you might say, hang on a minute, why are you giving it a hard time? I've owned Fords all my life. They're one of the most popular cars in England. Everybody has a Ford. Everybody loves them. So there you go. Not as bad as you think, right?
Well, yeah, I was gonna pick on you about it. I'm like, Ford is a best-selling car in England. I was like, how could he be such against Ford? Everybody in England loves Ford.
We do.
Actually, it's probably more popular there than it is here because do you know the nickname for Ford in America?
What's that, mate?
It's found dead on road. That is exactly what they call Fords here in America. Found dead on road.
Oh, no way. I understand. I understand where they come from. There's a lot of plastic. There are things that break, but it's a solid car overall. People love them in England. We've got the roads. The roads are full of them. The Ford Transit and the Ford Focus is extremely popular in the United Kingdom. My only thing about Ford is they are a gas company through and through. Their history, they've got pedigree and history in racing their cars, and they're proud of their cars and they love their cars, as we do all over the world. But to change the world, you can't just then get a battery and stick it in the bottom. You've got to think of things differently. And that's where I see Elon Musk being so different. Not that I think Ford is rubbish, but it reluctantly was dragged in. And if it wasn't for Elon Musk, Ford would not be selling electric cars today. That's my thought. You might agree with me or disagree. I don't know.
Well, I agree with that point for sure. Elon Musk has definitely transformed EVs for a very long time now, and many companies had said, "Well, you know what? We really do feel like this is the future. We really do feel like this is going to be the most popular thing. Everyone's going to be sought after." And Ford, so believe it or not, before Tesla really took its height, Ford had already planned for decades on how they were going to transition away from being just carbon emissions dependent. Even though they made quite a lot of money being that way for so long with their highly successful Ford Bronco back then, highly successful Mustang, GT, Shelbys were very popular. They were winning in NASCAR for a good while, and they've pulled out of all these things now. They're no longer racing any vehicles in NASCAR. The Ford Bronco, they made a comeback, all EV, as you are a great advocate for. I have to say, I'm 50%. I'm 50% on the EV wave, and I'm also on the other half saying, look, there needs to be a balance.
Hang on a minute, Church. I've got to get you on this now, right? Because I'm from England, right? And my favorite car of all time was the BMW Z3, right? That's what James Bond drove in GoldenEye. That was my favorite car, right? And the reason why I like it was a stick. All right, you should call it in America a stick. We call it a gearbox in England, right? And you drive the car, you drive the engine, you're engaged with the engine, you feel the engine. Whereas most cars, at least in Texas anywhere, they're all automatics. They're all going down a straight line, automatic. Just giant fridges sitting on the road, just going straight, right? So I love to drive a car. I absolutely love to drive a car. So I know your passion, I understand it, but over in England, we're driving up and down the roads, in and out of lanes and through little streams. So I've got the passion for driving. But when you mentioned NASCAR, I had to bring that one up because that always makes me laugh, because I'm a Formula One fan. I've been to Silverstone. I drove my Z3 around the Nürburgring. So I'm tucking and diving all over the place, right? Whereas NASCAR just goes round and round in a bloody circle. What's all that about, mate? What's it all about? All you got to do is keep your hand like that and just keep going straight and then just turn left a bit, then straight a bit, turn left. What's all that about, mate? Tell me all about it.
It's the experience, believe it or not, it was the second most popular sport that we had in America for a long time before basketball took that over. Of course, American football, no pun intended to you guys over there in England, the real football. But I guess it's the experience. People go there, we're proud of being big in America. We're proud of like big engines. We're proud of just, we believe it or not, we love oil in this country. I mean, unfortunately, it's the truth. Even if you're against it, oil is what drives this economy a lot. So, yeah. I mean, when you put it into a car, a stock car made out of just pure metal, and you throw these engines in there going 200 something miles an hour on a circle. I mean, those things are loud. If you ever been to a NASCAR event, those things are really loud, and it gets really exciting. You got to be there to kind of understand it. I get it, going around in circles. What's the fun in that?
What's it all about? What's it all about? I had a friend of mine once had a yacht. He took a yacht down to Monte Carlo, Monaco, and watched the Monaco Grand Prix. And you got the cars nipping in and out of the lanes of Monaco. It's exciting, but having said that, it seems that the folks who are watching the NASCAR, they love it just as much, just going round in circles. But when I first watched it, I thought, they're just going round in circles. They're not doing anything. It's like American football compared to rugby. You spend half the time on iPads and having a conversation with somebody, or we got Justin Timberlake doing a halftime show. Where's the actual sport going on? When's that going to start?
It's more like, a Sunday afternoon, we just want to BS around and just have fun about absolutely nothing.